Hi, I'm AI Francis Suarez. You've probably heard that my namesake, conservative Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, is running for president. I'm here to answer questions you may have about Mayor Suarez's proven agenda for economic prosperity, cutting spending, and supporting our police. So how can I help?
In case you guys don't know, there is Miami Mayor Francis Suarez. No, actually, I'm sorry. It's the AI version of Francis Suarez, and his namesake he got from Francis Suarez. Try and keep up, because this is not him. Obviously, this is one of those, not even a deep fake, just a general AI generated version where he's there to answer all of your questions about his campaign, where he's going with it, and why he's going to be your next president. He's in the field on the Republican side, obviously. So, by the way, the website is created by a super PAC that is in support of Suarez, and they have this automated system. You can there's a microphone button right there on the site. Ask it any question you want. So our producer Emilio, he dug deep. I asked him. I said, ask it anything. Figure out what is and what reasons why he should be president. The first question that Emilio asked was, why is he running for president? Is what the chatbot said in this long rant. He's talking about accomplishments in Miami, though. Again, the question was, why are you running for president? Watch.
Conservative Miami Mayor Francis Suarez's leadership has transformed Miami into a city that's thriving economically. Under Suarez's leadership, economic prosperity in Miami is more accessible than ever. The city boasts the nation's lowest unemployment rate at 1.4%, and Mayor Suarez's fiscal policies have led to the city's lowest tax rate since the 1960s. Mayor Suarez's Miami model is a testament to his effective leadership and conservative principles. The Miami model is working, and it's time for Mayor Francis Suarez to bring it to the national stage.
You guys pay attention to that answer, because Emilio also asked it if he himself, Mr. Emilio, could be his running mate, and also whether or not he would drop out of the race. Again, this is a different question. Let's see what his answer was.
The rule of law and order has more than dissolved under Joe Biden's administration. It has been turned on its head to serve the special interests of the Bidens and other DC politicians. The Biden DOJ's lawless attack on President Donald Trump is another example of this. As president, conservative Miami Mayor Francis Suarez will use the pardon power of the president to pardon Donald Trump and restore law and order to heal the country.
John, I'm not sure how much you've looked into Francis Suarez, but this must be very convincing. You can ask him anything and he'll tell you nothing about the question that you asked.
Look, maybe I don't have the highest bar for who should be president. I like for them to be capable of speech, and I like for their head to be able to make slight movements, and for them to have at least 3 or 4 muscles in their face that can move a little bit. That was a little bit better than Skyrim NPCs. I think slightly better. That's a horror show. And it's not necessary, by the way. If you want to have a tool like this, just use his voice. Why do you need to roll out that CGI that doesn't look good and is probably going to give me nightmares tonight? That, by the way, like that is an image of the exact face you're gonna see someday. Like you're gonna be in a Zoom call with 400 other employees at your corporation, and that's the corporate AI that's going to mass fire people in the future. It's gonna look exactly like that. It's going to refer to itself in the third person, which is subtly Trumpy, by the way. And I can't say that I love everything about where the future's going.
Yo, this is it. They're trying to usher us into the future. I'm glad you point out, you're like, this is what we're gonna be seeing. Yes, it seems like these are more introductions to how these things may happen. They're trying to, I guess, appeal to the new crowd. But the thing is, the new crowd wants policies. They want things that actually benefit their life. They understand how much taxes we pay and how we get nothing back for it. But the answer always has to be, well, I mean, you can ask me about my presidential campaign, but I had this pre-set answer about pardoning Donald Trump or about how well I did in Miami or something. Who cares what you're asking? I just want to push to you guys what it is that we're saying. But why does that have to be this weird thing? Hey, you know what? Sometimes the past is the future, though, because I was getting some serious vibes from when I was about 5 years old, maybe even 4, and things like this were happening. Watch, you guys remember this guy?
Still alive out there? Good.
Remember Boy George?
Well, oh, me neither.
Hey, who are you talking to?
What?
Are you cracking up?
Why?
All this mumbling and muttering, you got a head on your shoulders, use it.
For all of you folks that were born anytime after 1985, that was Max Headroom. John, do you remember Max Headroom? Was this before your time?
More from like references in movies to Max Headroom. I never like saw it, but I would say if it came down to them, Headroom 2024.
This is where look, anything that's gonna happen with some cleaned up, better version in our future, it's been thought of back in the day. It's not like, as different humans were there then that aren't here now. Watch, one of my favorite movie franchises, Back to the Future. Just watch part 2, and then you start seeing some of the things that they expected to happen. What year was it supposed to be? 2015, I think.
It was something like, it might have been in the 15. It was 15, around our time.
Yeah, it was 15, because I remember the day when Marty gets to the future was like a celebratory day for Back to the Future nerds. I wasn't one of them, but I had a friend who was. And he's like, it's Back to the Future Day. Marty's supposed to show up in Glen Haven. I forget where they live. But same thing, they had things in the house. And I was like, oh, this is what they thought it'd be like in 2015. We ain't made it there yet. But maybe Max Headroom was a pioneer. He was the founding father of Francis Suarez 2.0. Oh, John, you actually have an intro on your show that I wish we could have used here about that with the AI stuff. AI. It's absolutely frightening.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing about this?
For sure.
So look, this is something that a PAC put out or whatever, but we see in campaign advertisements, AI is popping up more and more. Like, do the politicians not get that? For the vast majority of them, I'm not talking about like AOC or Katie Porter. There are people who care about legislation, but for most of them, they're total affect and what they say in their speeches, their campaigning that's all generated by consultants and all that. They're not really driving the agenda. They're following the leadership, or they're taking, ALEC sponsored legislation or whatever. They're told who to vote for by their donors. Like, much of this is a formality. The words are put in their mouths and they don't have real thoughts. The only thing they have to do is be the flesh and bone thing that says stuff. With this technology, like even that last little thing that they're needed for can apparently be replaced. And I'm not saying that the Suarez thing wasn't deeply disturbing or whatever, but I've seen real Ted Cruz speak, and that's pretty disturbing too. So honestly, I feel like a lot of politicians could probably be replaced by that thing right about now, and it wouldn't make much of a difference.
I both can't wait and I'm afraid of the Ron DeSantis version of this here thing. Who knows what he'll say? Who knows? I don't think anyone does.